Today I wanted to talk about owning your decision. We always have the A-type personality, right? There's one in each family. The one that takes all the decisions and knows the decision is right and goes through, just blusters his way through. You have that person in your office too, who just knows how to take the decision. So there are those that are very confident of their decisions, and there are those that second guess themselves. It's like saying, I have faith that I'll get married this year, but I don't know whether I'll find the right person. Whether, it works out well for other people, but I'm not sure that, it doesn't really work out so well for me. So you have faith, but that's like just another word for you. Just another word. You're not going. Faith is not a hope. Faith is a belief. Okay? It's not just praying for something to work out in your life. It is declaring that it works out in your life. So you see how different the two are. They're completely different. Hoping that, I hope that my book takes off. Means in my head I know your book is not going to take off. It's a stupid book. Never going to take off. Who is going to read your book? It's from India. Who's going to read books on India? Nobody likes books on India. Now already you're telling yourself these things. You may not let those words come to your lips. But already that cycle of doubt has been put there. If you see even in your children, you might have the same kind of parenting in the house, but no two children will take decisions in the same way. Always there will be one child that can take things differently, make decisions differently. Of course, if you have one, you have nobody to compare him with. But whenever you have children in the home, I wonder, why is it that Karunya is so different with decision making and Lavanya is so different with decision making? And in some way, as a parent, we enable our children. We take those important decisions for them. We make life as comfortable as possible. So they're never in a situation where they have to make a decision. Right? Everything is provided. I always say that, when parents tell me that, my child is 2 years old and not talking, that's because there's no opportunity to talk. You provide everything. At the right time, the bottle is pushed into the mouth. At the right time, the potato is put in, then the banana is put in, then the diaper is changed, then the child is bathed. Everything that the child needs or wants is given immediately. So there's no need for the child to communicate. How does a child communicate? By crying, initially. And by babbling, by making that effort. But you're giving everything to that child because you think for some reason that child is weak and needs you. And in that way, you enable. Most often, the second child becomes much more responsible and much more of a decision maker, because by then you're tired. You've done plenty of Shishu Puja for the first one. And by the time the second baby is around, you're like, okay, I have to take care of two, and that one, let that one take the decisions themselves. So a lot of the time, the second child is making important decisions. I've seen it in so many families from a very young age, right? We never throw our children to the wolves. Say, okay, now get out of the house. You're 15 years old. Bye-bye, I brought you up well. I've given you lots of education. Now live on your own, manage. Yesterday my gardener came to me and he said, he's a really busy guy, but very prompt in his work. He says when he was 15 years old, his parents moved. And he didn't want to move to North Carolina because he had allergies. And he didn't like it. So from the age of 15, he's supporting himself. Doing everything himself. Every decision he takes. The buck ends there. There's nobody to ask, what should I do? Right? It's very comfortable, to have other people take decisions. It's very comfortable. Some of us really like it. Right? Let him decide. Anyway, he's going to overturn my decision. Or she's going to overturn my decision. Right? So why bother? I'll just wait. Let him take the decision. And in that, we're not 100% invested. See, if things are foisted on you, and you haven't taken that decision to own it yourself, then you're not 100% invested in what you do. You're just doing something. Most people, when they get married, they just go through you see, a lot of women you see in India, their eyes lack luster. Why? They've been pushed into a life that they didn't pick. I always notice that. And it's not even you notice it in a lot of people. If you become a little more aware of looking at people, looking at their eyes, you see that people that cannot take decisions or that are not happy with the life that they have, are not happy in the place that they are, they lack a certain luster in their eyes. Because if you own something, the passion comes in. It's yours. You took that decision to do whatever you had to do. The passion comes in. But even if you take a decision, if your habit is one of second guessing yourself, you just set yourself up for a lot of misery. And I am the first person to be guilty of that. I have a habit of checking myself, second guessing, saying, may not work. So for me, talking this knowledge, listening to it and reinforcing it and working is all the more important. I continually have to live the knowledge, remind myself, speak to myself to change my habitual thinking of years, perhaps of generations, of lifetimes. Who knows what I've brought into this world? It's extremely important. Don't think that, I'll come once a week and all my life, everything will be sorted out. No. That is why I do the workshops. That is why I keep saying, practice every day. Practice every day. I came back after 1 month. I don't know about this group. I asked the other group, how many have been practicing? And 2 people raised their hands. You can't practice once a month. You can't practice, once a week, once in 2 weeks, and expect changes to come into your lifestyle. They won't come. It is every day, regardless. Because you're fighting against your mind. And your mind is very powerful. Because you've given it that power. All this while. And it loses its power once you own your decisions. As long as you don't 100% own what you're doing, that mind is having a field day. See, I told you not to do this. It was never a good idea. See, he runs your life for you. You can't even take a simple decision like that. It's never going to work out for you because you're always the underling. This is how it happens. You buy into that, and you get deeper and deeper. Whatever decision you take, you have to own it. It may be the worst decision of your life. It may not be the best. We're always got at crossroads in our lives. You can take this road, you can take this road. You take this road, it's got certain baggage. You take this road, It's got certain other baggage. But baggage it has. You can't go down a path just like that, fancy free, without any baggage. Whatever path you pick, your destiny opens up that way. It's not that your entire life has been predestined for you. No. At all points, like going on a highway, you're on a certain highway. Yes, that has been pre-picked for you. You've picked the parents, you've picked the background, you've picked the social milieu, the other conditions in your life. That you picked. But along the way, what job you take, the person you marry, the car you choose to drive, the habits you pick up along the way, those are choices that you're making. Those are choices that you're making.
But the propensity to make that choice is also predetermined, or?
You are born with certain natural tendencies, right?
That
certain vasanas that from past samskaras, I would also say. Because there's a certain people are just they make their decisions much easier, they own their decisions much easier. And others may seem to own their decision, but you don't know what's going on in their head, right? It's not always that people are strong decision makers and they own it 100%. And there are certain others, still others that continually vacillate. They take the decision and say, oh God, I shouldn't have done this. I should have chosen someone else. Now that's okay for small things, picking a blue dress versus a green dress. But once you get married, you're like, this is the problem that's happening, right? You're not owning that 100%. And the bigger decisions in life, you have to own. You have to commit. It's a commitment to whatever you do. There are certain conditions, I always say that there are certain conditions where you can revoke your decision. No decision is a 100% binding. Nothing in life for that matter stays forever or is binding on you forever. You can even change the color of your hair. Imagine that, right? 50 years ago, who could say that you could do that, right? We can change it to red, pink, blue, purple, whatever you want. Nothing in life is binding forever. But for the moment, everything is. Right now, it all happens. This is when the drama is taking place. This is where everything is happening. There is no future. There is nothing that's going to stay forever. It's all happening here. So at this minute, so the rule is the same. The rule is the same. You have to own the present moment. You have to belong right now. You have to invest right now. You have to believe right now. You have to declare right now. Everything is happening just this minute. And if you don't, you are wasting this time. I always say, I catch myself when I'm spiraling down into like negative thoughts. I catch myself. And that's the beauty of meditation. That is the beauty. See, we are all not perfect. We are all not perfect. Our minds have taken charge of us long time ago. A long time ago. But to catch yourself when that's happening, that is the trick. That is the trick that only comes if you meditate regularly, if you do your pranayama regularly.
I'm catching now. So
you see that happening?
I'm catching.
Yeah. It happens over a period of time.
I don't want this.
Right. See how that happens? It's so important to keep that going. That awareness, to catch it. No, I am not going to be miserable now because now is what counts. I have only so much time. And I have two choices always, to be happy or to be sad. Why would I pick being sad? Why? Why? Happiness is your birthright. You have to be happy. You have to pick that at all times. And the greatest blessing is if you have a partner along the way. That partner can be your best friend, can be your spouse, can be your child. Someone who catches you. That is another charm in your life. That's why I say bring everybody. Bring people. Bring more and more people. Because we help each other to own decisions. And then you're empowered by doing that. You take full responsibility. And it is not thrust on you. You take it. It's very different when something is thrust on you, isn't it? You feel the burden. You feel like, I can't do this. It's not what I wanted to do. It's not what I want from my life. And yes, there are many facets of our life that are thrust on us. But if you see more and more, you own even those areas of life that were thrust on you, you will get more joy out of it. Because definitely, if you're in a, forced, like with a mother-in-law you can't stand, you're going to be spending 90% of your time talking about her, how miserable you are. Accept it completely, own it completely. This is it. This is it. Now, if I had this wisdom 30 years ago, I'm sure my life would have been different. And the wisdom doesn't come from listening once a week. It doesn't. It has to be part of your life. It has to be part of your life. And if I impact the life of 5 people, I will consider my life fulfilled. Completely fulfilled. I don't want to change the world. I cannot change the world. But if 5 people listen to me and do the things that I recommend for them, and they make the changes in their life, that would be my life fulfilled. And that should be your goal too. To impact the life of 5 people. Make them realize that this life is short. It's over before you can, because time is like, what is time? I don't know what time is. It's over. I still feel as if I'm the same Kanchana that was 15 years old. I don't feel my age, and I won't tell you how old I am.
I know.
I don't feel my age, right? Inside you feel the same. But you have a child, and a grown-up child, and you have all these things happening. But what is most important is today, are you taking complete ownership of whatever it is that's happening? A good job, a bad job, a good husband, a bad husband, a good child, a bad child, a good day, a bad day, a good president, a bad president. We own it all.
That decision.
We own it all. We own it all. Because this is the circumstance. This is the circumstance. And no, we don't have to take responsibility for everything in this world. But whatever's happening right now in your life, that tiny little sphere, own it. Own it. It'll make a huge difference. Om Namah Shivaya.